time to transition. Am I going to break first? We just talking. All right, we're staying here. We're staying here. We're staying here. Okay. The Jets informed Saleh minutes ago, and we are informing you in present time that the head coach, now make sure social media knows we talking this dude right here, right now.
I don't like it, Acho.
I'm trying to get answers.
I love it.
You love that?
I love it.
You see the screen? That's
I love it. Let me, because I said this. Y'all know this. Shady, you know this. Chase, you came here most recently. James, you know this. I've been saying there was a Robert Saleh problem. We do not know if Robert Saleh is a good head coach. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh is excellent. I said this weeks ago. I love Robert Saleh as a linebacker coach. I like Robert Saleh as a defensive coordinator. There is much, much, much needed as a head coach. Y'all remember last game, I woke up at 6:30 to watch it. You're at the 26-yard line. I'm doing this off memory, so forgive me if I'm wrong. It is 4th and 2. You need points. Your offense has not gotten points all day. It's 4th and 2, and you decide to go for it on 4th and 2. Not only do you decide to go for it on 4th and 2, you run an abysmal and atrocious play call. Well, Acho, Robert Saleh's not the offensive coordinator. Sure, but Nathaniel Hackett is. And why Nathaniel Hackett there? Because of Aaron Rodgers. Why is Aaron Rodgers there? It all starts at the top. But you run this 4th and 2 play call. You don't get it. Keeping in mind, you're at the 26. Even if you would have picked up the first down, you still need 26 more or 24 more yards to get a touchdown. It was nonsensical. Remember, the Jets lost to the Vikings by 6. If you pick up those 3 points on that field goal, which would have been roughly a 43 or so yard field goal, you're only down by 3 at the end of the game. So now Aaron Rodgers doesn't need a touchdown. Now Aaron Rodgers just needs 3 points. We don't know if Robert Saleh is we know Robert Saleh is not a good head coach. He mismanaged the Zach Wilson, Mike White situation. Then he mismanaged the Zach Wilson situation last year, and he's mismanaged the situation this season. Shady, I've seen nothing to say I want Saleh there.
I disagree with everything you just said. First of all, the Mike White and Zach Wilson, I mean, who can do anything with them type of guys?
Nobody.
They are what they are, right? Andy Reid's one of the greatest of all time. And he would have a hard time playing with them quarterbacks. So let's put that little category.
I can't. I'll get back to it, but you can put it on pause.
Okay, right. Cool.
Pause.
Let's talk about this year, though, because we wanted Aaron Rodgers, and he got him, right? He said, we had a great defense. We play really well on defense. We need one quarterback to make this thing happen. Cool. He goes out there and gets Aaron Rodgers. He gets hurt the first year. Cool. You know what? I ain't going to judge you on that. It is what it is. This year, though, you telling me it's his fault they losing? You ain't telling me that, are you? Other than the Niners game, I can't blame him for nothing, though. This last game against the Vikings, they should have won that game. First of all, your all-star quarterback, your GOAT, your legendary dude you love to talk about, did nothing. Gave him 3 picks.
Yeah.
Okay, on defense, though, we got you 2 turnovers. So the only reason you really score is because what we did for you on defense got you great field position. That's one part. The second part is, so maybe the Vikings not a gimme game because the Vikings are doing well this year. Cool. What about the Broncos? That's a gimme game. That's a game that James Jones, myself, Chase, Acho, we in the locker room on a Monday, we play Sunday, and we so hyped up.
Shady, I'm upset.
No.
I'm upset.
They gave you 10 points.
I'm upset.
We stopped for 10 points, and then my all-star quarterback can't give me more than 10 points? Yeah. Are you serious?
No. Here, I can't wait, Shady. Y'all realize I could go for 2 hours on this. I'm upset. Let's talk to the left side of the table. I'm upset because, Saleh, you made your bed. Lie in it.
What you mean by that?
Yes.
Last year, Saleh, you didn't want to head coach this team. You wanted Aaron Rodgers to be the head coach of this team.
Why? Why you say
Because remember last year when everybody and their mama, and it didn't matter. Everybody and their mama was having OTAs. Nah, we don't need OTAs. Okay, cool. Now you suck last year. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. It's fine. You don't have a contingency plan. This year, Aaron Rodgers, we don't really need these OTAs. Patrick Mahomes has OTAs. They're undefeated. Minnesota Vikings, they were at OTAs. They're undefeated. We don't need all that stuff. Now look up. Now look at you. You 2-3. You get into the season, you're still not necessarily running the program. Aaron Rodgers, he wants to get to the line and say, hey, you know what? We're going to use this cadence. After the game, Robert Saleh, you're going to go to the podium. I don't know why we're using cadence. Maybe we should back off. Then the next day on Monday, you're going to retract and rescind your statement. If you want to be the head coach, be the head coach. But you didn't want to be the head coach. You didn't act like the head coach. You didn't carry yourself like the head coach. Robert Saleh made his bed, gentlemen. I will not cry a tear now that he is sleeping in it. He made his bed, Chase Dan.
Yeah, look this comes down to, and I got some sources that are getting back to me on the reason why, so we can talk about it.
You know the reason.
No.
20 and 36 ain't reason enough?
Yeah, 20 and 36 is bad, but look, dude, they've scored 93 points this season on offense. It's the same as Zach Wilson last year. The exact same reason. Robert Saleh's defense was not the issue. It was not the issue. It was Aaron Rodgers and that offense play. Because they didn't do anything to get behind their head coach. And this just tells me that, like, Woody Johnson and Christopher Johnson, the owners of the Jets, they picked Aaron Rodgers instead of Robert Saleh. That's what this came down to. And they're 2-3. Can they get it back on track? I don't know, but like, it's interesting that a team would pick a player over a coach, because I think Robert Saleh is a great coach.
What coach? What kind of coach? Not head coach. Well, he ain't showed you nothing about being a great head coach.
What do you mean pick the player over the coach?
Why did he fire him?
But I'm asking you.
Because the success on the field has not been there. And you obviously knew, and you know too, their relationship is not great at all.
At all.
So they're thinking, we need to choose someone right now. We're not benching Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, I wonder if he had a say in it. I'm not speculating, but like, you got to imagine for something like this big to happen, there's something going on behind the scenes that'll get out. It's crazy.
To make this decision right now, I don't think Aaron Rodgers had anything to do with this situation, except the way the offense and him has been playing. Because if you win these 2 games, you win. If you win these 2 games, your coach is not fired. This to me, it had to be something internally. It had to be something that they've been looking at for the last year or so to see how Robert Saleh is coaching this team. Because to fire him after his defense has really, these last 2 weeks, played really well, and I'm not the reason why we're losing. It's Hackett and Rodgers and the offense the reason why we're losing. I don't know why you would fire him after this. I believe it's a little bit of a lot of things you said. It's a bunch of mismanagement as the head coach. Is it your team? Is it the players' team? Whose team is it? I think it has to do a little bit with that. And internally, he didn't really have command and control in there. That's the only thing that I can. I mean, I feel you. It always got to be somebody.
Like, we want to go back and forth. Like, I feel like any coach that Aaron Rodgers has at this point in his career, they're always gonna have some friction back and forth. I want to do it my way. I've been doing great for this long, and then you're a coach. Like, unless it's a guy like Andy Reid or a guy like Belichick, where they've done so much, you can't even talk to me like that. Any other coach that he's gonna deal with, he's done more than them. So they're always gonna have I want to do it this way, you want to do it that way. But that's not the real case here. The real case is we using an excuse for Aaron Rodgers. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Yo, for him to be so great, we always come back to this. You're not playing well. The offense is not balling. The defense is balling. He's a defensive coach.
No doubt.
So what's the issue? We talking about some interviews? Come on, man. Like, yo, y'all gotta do better, though. Y'all gotta do better.
So, Jeff,
stop giving him an excuse.
Jeff Ulbrich, the DC, is going to be the interim head coach. I don't think that's a great thing. We will talk about that.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
No, who's going to be it?
I know,
it can't be Hackett. There's no way.
But think about this, though. It's the same thing, though. So now, Aaron Rodgers will look at this dude like, yo, who are you? Who are you? I want to do it this way. I don't care what you say. It's going to be the same situation, though. And then my thing is like, yo, you get a defensive guy when the defense is already playing well?
Yeah.
I'm lost.
I think we're underestimating how much of a say Aaron Rodgers has had in this entire situation.
But last thing, to that.
It's not Hackett. It's Ulbrich. I'm hearing from multiple people that Rodgers had a say in this decision.
Can I ask you this for a second, though? This dude's 40 years old, and he's not balling. Why you got so much say-so? Because your time is limited. Like, if I'm the Jets, do I really want to sign him up again?
They already made him a GM.
I know.
They already made him the GM. Why not make him the head coach and see what he does?
Listen to the picture I'm painting for you.
Rodgers, what do you need? A wish list? What do you mean you make him the GM?
Chase,
What I'm asking you is, yo, he's 40 years old. He's not playing well. We can all say that he's declining, correct?
Yeah.
So why are we giving this dude all this power when his time is this much is left?
But my thing is why are we sitting here saying Aaron Rodgers had a say-so in this?
I'm not saying that,
Like,
I think he did.
Y'all, he's a defensive coach. He don't even talk to Aaron Rodgers and them unless it's on Sunday in the sideline.
Saleh, not Ulbrich. Saleh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Saleh don't even really encounter with them. It's offensive meetings. Right. It's Hackett running it. Yeah. It's Hackett calling the plays. Aaron talking to Hackett like, how is he coming in here saying, hey, man, I don't like Saleh? Now, I can see if he's like, hey, man, I don't like Mike McCarthy. I don't like Andy Reid. Offensive coaches, that's different. So for Aaron to have say-so and you getting fired after 5 games, I don't necessarily know if that's true.
They have say-so, and you say, yo, I don't want Robert Saleh, but I want another defensive guy. That don't make sense to me.
Hold on, we'll get to that. Before we get to Aaron Rodgers and the role he has to play in it, let's focus on Saleh for a moment. We'll take a break. We'll get back to it. For me, for Saleh, he did nothing to keep his job. That's why I am content with him being fired.
I can
I'm
agree
not
with
just
that.
looking at this year.
Back-to-back 7-win seasons.
Back-to-back 7-win seasons.
Yeah.
He's 20-36 over the last 3 years and change. Third worst record if you're looking at it cumulatively in football. But more importantly than that, think about how he has mismanaged things. Zach Wilson and Mike White 2 years ago were the quarterbacks. I understand they were both bad. But your team is wearing Mike White T-shirts while Zach Wilson is on the roster. Remember, even before that, Robert Saleh says, hey, we're not benching Zach Wilson for good. We're just giving a young man a hard reset. You won't give a hard reset to a first-round pick at the end of the season and then backdoor and make him your backup the next year with no contingency plan in the event a 39-year-old Rodgers gets hurt. 39-year-old Rodgers gets hurt. Zach Wilson is in there, mismanaged that situation. So your first year is mismanaged, obviously. Your second year is mismanaged. Now let's cut to this year.